Cincinnati's home for stand-up comedy. Wednesday night, who's ready to have a good time? Oh, come on, you guys can do better than that. Wednesday night, make some noise! All right, we have a few simple rules here at Go Bananas. Please set those cell phones to the side of their off position. Keep that tabletop to a minimum, and absolutely no heckling the comedians or you will be asked to leave. With that out of the way, make some noise for all the comedians you're about to see on the Pro-Am! And now, please help me welcome to the stage your host and MC, the very funny, the very talented, Zach Wyckoff!
Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. Clap for yourselves for coming out on Wednesday. That's something. Yes. By round of applause, who's here to see some family or friends? Anybody? Family or friends? Okay. And who's here just because it's cold and there's nothing else to do? All right. Heck yeah, dude. I love that. I love that. I'm honored to be here. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be anywhere. Honestly, I've been driving so much. I've gotten pretty wild behind the wheel of a car. Have you guys ever tried driving while eating ribs? That's not a mobile food, guys. I took one bite and the wheel wobbled a little bit, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is how I want my body to be found, you know? Because what do you put in the obituaries of someone who died driving, eating ribs? You know, just rest in peace, Zachary Wyckoff. He died as he lived, alone and covered in barbecue sauce. You know? My mom's just at the funeral like, I just want my baby back. I'm just saying, I don't want people pulling over the side of the highway to leave a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's in my memory. I don't know. I get too wild, man. Like, I tried to, like, put, like, cream cheese on a bagel while I was merging onto the freeway. Those are two-handed activities. Because I was like, what's worse, dying in a fiery car wreck or choking down a dry bagel? You know? I think the only thing left for me to do is just like, I don't know, install a hibachi grill in my dashboard. People would be like, Zach, is your car smoking? I'm like, nope, that's the tower, you guys. It's very silly. People like to ask me, Zach, where did you go to homeschool? And I wasn't, just real close with my mommy. I was a leash kid, anybody? Okay, cool. A couple of people are like, oh, I thought I recognized you from the ASPCA commercials. I think I heard Sarah McLachlan sing about you. No, my parents had me on a leash, which meant I was a runner. As a child, I ran away from them in Disney World one time, and they were searching all over the park for me for like 30 minutes, and they finally found me hanging out with just like Timon and Pumbaa. And let me tell you, my mom was not Hakuna Matata about it. That's how you get put on a leash, y'all, you know? I don't know, we drinking out here, we're drinking some beers and stuff. I love it. I love all, there's all kinds of stuff. Like, I love the craft beers where it's like, yeah, this has like notes of like caramel and it was made in a monk's vagina. I don't know, what? That's the grossest thing I've ever said. I'm so sorry. I've never said a swear on stage. I'm so sorry. That vagina's a swear to me. So there's like that whole like craft thing, right? And then there's also like, I love Coors because their whole thing is just like, wow, what's the flavor of this? And they're like, it's cold. Yeah, but what does it taste like? I don't know, man. The mountains are blue. It's got mountain technology. That's all you need to know. Drinking's cool. We're doing it. The guy who just had his first beer, drinking's cool. My favorite thing is I feel like alcohol is everywhere now. Like, you guys know when you go to Kroger and there's a bar there? And there's always just one dude just having the time of his life. Do you know how much of an alcoholic you have to, did you point to him? Heck yeah, dude. You like to party? All right. Heck yeah, man, I love that. Do you know how much of an alcoholic you have to be to get drunk with all of the lights on? Like, do you think that guy gets to the end of his week and is just like, man, I can't believe I spent $400 on groceries this week. I can't believe they let kids in here. This is crazy. What other place do you think like wouldn't make sense to have alcohol that we need to add? You know, like, I don't know, like the DMV. Did you say court? That's, that's good. It's like, honestly, Your Honor, we were just vibing, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Daycare. That's good. That's good. We're just gonna move past the alcoholism. I'll tell you guys this. I'm a lot of people think I'm out here banging, but this little snake's in its cage. But yeah, I'm a single fella. Ladies, yeah, it's weird. I've never been good at asking girls out. The last time I was good at asking girls out was like 2006. Do you guys remember AOL Instant Messenger? Yeah, dude. That's what's up. AOL Instant Messenger. It was tough. Like, I struck out a couple times, but only later did I realize it was because I was competing with full-grown men. Yeah, right? For real? Oh no. Do we need to call the police? I'm so sorry. Yeah, like you remember AOL Instant Messenger? Like you could only flirt with girls if like your mom was off the phone. You just boot it up and it sounds like a Transformers giving birth. It was a good time. But as is true, guys, one time I asked out a girl over AOL Instant Messenger. She said yes. And yeah, not trying to brag. And we still haven't gone out, but we also have never broken up. And it's been about 15 years, so I think we might be legally married. And I looked that girl up recently, and I found this out. We actually have a kid. I showed up, I was like, hey, baby, it's me. And she's like, who are you? I was like, you don't remember me, Lovin' Soccer 07? My actual AAM name. But I'm not good at dating. Like, I don't know. People think I have this weird little like birthmark on my neck. I don't know if you guys can tell. Every old lady I've ever met has been like, oh, Zach, you out here getting hickeys? And I have to explain like, no, actually, my mom gave this to me. Hey, that's enough for me. Thank you guys so much. Clap for yourselves. Incredible. We have such a great lineup for you guys tonight. Emergency Exit Factory came in just over there. That way, you guys ready to get this show started, gang, huh? Yes. Coming up to the stage, you might recognize him from giving you Coors Lights. Everyone, please clap for Carter Doherty.
Thanks. Yep, for everybody I've interacted with, I'm sorry. It's just how I am. No, I'm a very bad server because I'm really awkward. Like, there were multiple times where like I've grabbed for somebody's drink, and then they were like, I wasn't done with that, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Okay. So tip the wait staff. Yeah. So I'm an awkward guy. I was talking to one of my buddies about how I feel awkward all the time. And he was like, "Oh, Carter, that's not your fault. You got that autism, or whatever." Yeah, I don't have autism. I'm just 21. That's how we are now. Like everybody my age is a little bit touched with the tism, you know. Like, autism is just my generation's herpes, you know? Just assume you have it and keep fucking. Yep, no condoms and no eye contact either. All right, sweet. We got a young, hip crowd. Do you guys know what the ick is? Does anybody know what you guys got it when I got on stage? Cool. No, the ick is a feeling a girl gets when she just instantly loses like all horniness that she had. And a lot of girls, they can get it over just the smallest thing. Like, I was talking to one girl and she said she gets the ick when her boyfriend gets too excited. I was like, I think you just hate your boyfriend. I don't know. Because, like, if she was like, oh no, when he gets too excited, he just acts too feminine. I was was like, I don't know, if you can't stand when a guy gets a little giddy, I don't think you're ever gonna fuck. The idea of an ick is such like a crazy concept to me, like as a guy. Because my girlfriend could shit her pants on a date, and I would be like, if you shower. All right. That's how I end that. So I've been making mayo lately. This isn't. Actually been doing it. And you gotta combine egg yolks and oil together, and it's kind of hard to do because like if you do anything wrong in the process, you overmix it, add too much oil, they don't mix, and then you just like it all fucks up. You don't get any mayo. And I feel like that process is a lot like. Are you alright? I'm sorry. Fuck. I should have just kept saying what I was saying. So yeah, making mayo is hard. Because they don't make, like, it's just a really difficult, tedious process. And I feel like that's a lot like making a girl horny. Because, like, you know, you're just in there, you're freaking mixing it up, you're saying all the right things, you're like, oh, you look good, you take her on a nice date, and then you're just like, oh, I don't know if the vaccine's all that good. And then you don't get to make any mayo. Cool. Man, anybody here, any of the boys here, ever get too drunk and then they can't perform sexually with a lady? Any of the guys here ever get whiskey dick?
Everybody's just saying no.
Or yes, some guys have got. You've gotten it, sir. Might get it later. No, I don't. That sucks, man. Brother of the play. I've actually never gotten whiskey dick. Yeah, I've never gotten it. But I have gotten. My penis won't get hard because I'm trying to put it in a lady and I'm gay dick. You ever get that one, brother? That's just a me thing. All right, well, that's my time. Ending it off on a big reveal. Please tip me so that was worth it. Guys, this next comic coming to the stage, he's a really good buddy that I started comedy with up in Akron, everybody. It's Jared Bailey!
Keep it going for Carter. Give it up for him. All right. Yeah, that's fun. All right. Some exciting news in my family's life. My sister just won an Emmy. Round of applause for my sister. Fucking killing it in life. Yeah. Yeah. She writes the news for CBS. I can tell how Trumpy a crowd is because they'll be like, fuck CBS. And I just have to work from there. But I read the news every day. I read this article that a guy committed suicide in a Walmart. And a different guy committed suicide in a Target. And my first thought was, wow, every store has self-checkout now. Hope the next time you're in a grocery store and you see the self-checkout line, you think, suicide. That would make me happy. That'd be fun. Here's a fun story. All right, so I have real curly hair. No one else in my family has this hair. It's a little suspicious. All right. When I was 10 years old, I was getting a haircut. Barbara was cutting my hair, and she said, "Oh, sweetie, are you mixed?" My mom was 5 feet away. She said, "Oh, no, he isn't." And I swear to God, this barber went, I know a mixed baby when I see one. And then she just kept cutting my fucking hair. Like, do you understand how bonkers that is? This woman was like, you fuck someone other than your husband. And then just returned to her line of work as if she said nothing controversial at all. That is bonkers, my dudes. Bonkers, I say. I walked in there like, I just want a few inches off the top. I walked out there like, who's my dad? Still not entirely sure. I'll let you guys know when I am. I have a bunch of stories like that where people are always talking about my hair. I remember I was performing and a Jewish comedian was talking about being Jewish, and he points right at me. He's like, this guy knows what I'm talking about, am I right? And I was like, I'm not Jewish. And he said, I know a Jew when I see one. And I just wanted to scream, who's my dad? Like, are you my dad? I'm like, where is he? You know who really hates this joke? My dad. He's like, fuck you, Jared. I gave you everything in life. I'm like, yeah, everything except this hair, though. That's fun. I drove here from the illustrious city of Akron, Ohio. Yeah, great place. Whoa, yeah, that's undeserved. I was listening to Prince on my drive over here. Anyone like Prince? Anyone like Prince's music? Yeah, a couple claps. I like Prince. Prince is like if Michael Jackson only had sex with adults. I saw some middle-aged ladies in this audience. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that Prince joke. They're like, Lady Cab Driver's the first song I got my pussy ate to. Yeah, it's a good one. Here's a dick joke. I don't think, here's a dick. Do you think a girl ever pulled down Bill Gates' pants and said, oh, so that's why it's called Microsoft? Bill Gates' dick joke. It's been a crowd pleaser lately. That's a dick joke. Here's a vagina joke. I don't think the clitoris is very hard to find. Just look for the bump and hope it's not a wart. Nice. Some people pull back. You guys are like, we know where it's at. That's fun. You guys are fun. All right. Some exciting news in my life. I moved in with my girlfriend. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that was so exciting when I initially wrote that joke. Yeah. Things have soured. But we did move down the street from a bar, and I thought, cool, I'm walking distance from the bar now. I made that walk one time. I was huffing and puffing. I thought, cool, I'm shorter drunk driving distance from the bar now. Took a little time off my drunk driving commute. That's nice. That's nice. I am from Akron. Who do you guys think is the most famous person from Akron, Ohio? Just shout it out. LeBron James. I'd argue it's Jeffrey Dahmer. All right. Not everyone likes sports, but no one wants to get killed, fucked, and eaten. Pretty universal. Here's a 100% true statement. Jeffrey Dahmer's parents went to my church. Here's how I'm gonna make that funny. I like to imagine Jeffrey Dahmer attending a church service and the preacher says, eat this and pretend it's Jesus' body. Jeffrey Dahmer's like, fuck yeah. Preacher's like, drink this, pretend it's Jesus' blood. And Jeffrey Dahmer's like, I just really like the ambiance in this room. This place has a nice feng shui to it. And the preacher's like, for the third part of communion, Jeffrey Dahmer's like, please say fuck a dead body. Please say fuck a dead body. You guys handle that joke so much better than Georgia did. When I said it, they just pulled out their guns and said, leave! So I did. And I'm about to leave myself. So all right, everybody, you guys ready for your next comedian? All right. Your next comedian's funny as fuck. He recorded a special at this club. It's on YouTube. Keep it going for Blake Hammond.
Hey, give it up for everybody else you saw, huh? I like that we started the show with a virgin comic and then we just kept sending them up here, you know what I mean? Really setting the tone for the whole lineup. Bunch of fucking dorky virgins, dude. So yeah, he said that little special thing. People on the internet keep telling me I look like Chum-Li from Pawn Stars, and even if you don't know what that dude looks like, Chum-Li is not a hot guy's nickname. You know what I mean? Chum-Li sounds like a D-list whale at SeaWorld. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh no, Shamu's sick today. Here's Chum-Li, kids. The only whale that wears a t-shirt in the pool. Here he is, everybody. Chum-Li only eats Swedish fish. Hell yeah, we got some real ones over here. They like that ending. I got married recently. Yeah, I have a wife. Sorry, whores. I have a wife. Sorry, I'm taken. No one's ever sorry. I do have a wife. She's much prettier than you guys are imagining right now. Laugh too hard at that, you asshole lady. My wife, she wants me to get my semen tested. We're not trying to have a kid, it's just coming out weird, but no, we're trying to have a kid. We are. And she wants me, I don't want to get my semen tested because I don't know how they test semen. Like, I know how you test cocaine. I hope it's not the same process. You know what I mean? Doctor takes a little bit, he rubs it on his gums. He's like, yeah, that's weird. Are you part Colombian? That's crazy. That's all right, we're keeping that one. That one rocks. Clap if you're on antidepressants here. Clap if you're on antidepressants. I just realized that's the opposite of if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, but it was good, thank you. We'll keep that one too. Thanks, lady. My friend is super depressed and he refuses to take antidepressants because of the sexual side effects. He's like, what if my dick can't get hard? And then I had to tell him, I was like, hey man, nobody cares how hard your dick is when you're crying. It's no woman has ever been at a bar, saw a guy having a breakdown and been like, oh my God, I bet he's so horny. Like, it's not a thing. Like, a crying guy with an erection is like a homeless guy with a couch. It's like, that's great, but where are you gonna put it, brother? You know what I mean? Also, why is it wet? But okay, we're keeping that one too. You guys are a little slow, but it's a pretty good joke. That rocks. I kind of want to do this wild joke to end on, and I feel like you guys are kind of pussies, but we'll see. One psycho over here. Yeah, no, I'm doing it for him. So, okay, here we go. We're going to try it. You guys all know the Mandela effect, right? You all know what that is. It's like alternate reality theory. Like some people remember it as like Berenstain Bears, and some people remember it as Berenstein Bears. Yeah, my dad remembers it as those Jew bears. So, I don't think that's the Mandela effect, to be honest. I think that's the Kanye effect, if I'm being honest with you guys. Which is ironic, because he can't tell black people apart, but he's a race. That guy rocks. Fuck you guys. But that guy fucking rocks. It's a good joke if you're not a bitch. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much. That was fun. I want you guys to make a lot of noise for your next comic. She's very funny. Give it up for Marae Thomas, everybody.
How's it going, everybody? It's been a month since Christmas. We survived the holidays, guys. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I am very surprised that I made it through the holidays without a homicide charge, because when I went home for the first time since moving out, I found out that my father has started describing me to his single coworkers as his, quote, aggressively single daughter. Yeah, which makes it sound like I'm out here just like stalking men, just like begging them to date me, which is horrifying. I've only been single for 23 years. My parents are really not subtle at all about how disappointed they are that I'm not like dating or married yet. For Christmas this year, my parents gifted me a premium CatholicMatch.com subscription. Yeah, true. The only thing that's not true about that is that it was for Christmas this year. It was actually a birthday gift when I was 18. Yeah, I tolerate my parents. There's only one person in my life who is more disappointed that I'm single than my parents, and weirdly enough, it's my 75-year-old Trump-supporting boss at work. He's an odd little duck, Jim. Sometimes I'm sitting at work and I'll just catch him like staring at me, just with so much disdain, just like shaking his head, thinking, why do we let women vote? Just really disgusted. He can't handle the fact that I'm a 23-year-old woman who's like thriving and happy and like pays her own rent. I don't think he really fully comprehends that I'm allowed to have my own bank account, if I'm being honest. Jim recently found out that I do stand-up comedy. And honest to God, guys, I would have rather come out to him as a furry. Yeah, and then explain to him what a furry is. Yeah, he was not interested in it at all. He came up to me and he's like, Marae, let's have a little talk. And he drags me into his office. You look just like him, actually, sir. Freaking out a little bit. And he sits me down just like as aggressively as you're looking at me. that if you were to ever do a little skit about me, that would be what I consider a career-limiting decision. Yeah. And he says it with like dead eyes, but then he like smirks and like winks at the end so that I can't send him to HR. Yeah. Jim's a handful. Oh my goodness. I am single. I've been single for a long time. And you know, I try to date. I'm on like every single dating app, but I live in Kentucky, okay? Once I weed out the mullets and the ex-felons, like there's 7 men in the state, guys. And it's hard for me too, because I have a very specific type of man that I'm into. I like my men strong and I like them silent, okay? But I mean like really strong and like really silent. Like I need the type of man that I'll find on Farmers Only, okay? And I have a profile. I need a kind of man who was like raised on a farm and like kicked in the head and he just like never shook it off. Recently I found one of these kings on Farmers Only, and this is true. You can laugh, but it's true. And I sent him like a little like, you know, as you do. And I was really excited because he wrote me back. And you know, he checked every box, ladies. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was really excited. So again, like butterflies when I saw his profile picture. And then I saw that he was like 6'7". I was like, oh my God, he's tall. Yeah, I mean, honestly, he had a bit of a butter face too, but I was like, I won't even see it from down here. But I was so excited. I was like, you know what? Maybe this is my future husband. Maybe I won't be a disappointment this year. And I was so excited because he sent me a message. And it said those 3 little words that just every girl wants to hear. He said, "What's crackin', fire crotch?" So I'll be entering the nunnery. Thanks everybody, I'm Marie Thomas. Are you ready for your next comic? Keep that energy up for Miss Allison Stapp.
Oh, bananas, what's up? Keep it going for yourselves, yeah? Not gonna lie, I've been kind of having a weird day today. Found out someone's been using my photos to catfish people. Why is that funny? No, I was pretty flattered, actually. But it turns out they weren't trying to get dates with my photos. They were just trying to get a job at Half Price Books. They didn't get the job. Insult to injury there. I've been thinking about dreams lately, like what your dreams mean. And I heard that if you have a dream that all of your teeth fall out, that means that you have anxiety. Well, I had a dream that the inside of my mouth was covered in teeth. So I guess that means I'm pretty chill. Can't imagine anything more chill than that. Mouthful, too many teeth. When I was in high school, I had an interview at Starbucks, the big leagues for white women, varsity team, tryouts. Yeah, and I remember like during the interview, the interviewer had me try like all these different coffee beverages to try to see like what the flavor profile of each one was. And so like I took a sip of the first one and I was like, I don't know, like vanilla maybe? And he was like, no, actually it's rum. I was like, okay, well, first of all, this is a vanilla frappuccino, so go fuck yourself. Also, I'm 16. The only rum I've had is sunscreen flavored, so I don't know how you expect me to pick that out. Speaking of coffee, I was taking a walk the other day and I saw a sign in a coffee shop window and it read, "Our coffee fights local sex trafficking." And I just gotta say, as a local sex trafficker, I was pretty upset. Because what happened to supporting women-owned businesses? Come on. I'm just kidding. I'm not a local sex trafficker. My sex trafficking occurs at the state level and beyond, so they're not gonna get me there. No, I mean, for real, no, I'm not. Can you imagine if I was, though? Like a 26-year-old white woman, local sex trafficker. Like, I feel like I'd probably run that shit like an MLM. Just be like hitting up girls that I went to high school with on Facebook, like, hey girlie, do you wanna be your own boss? In my basement? I'm 26, was born in 1996, and I feel like that's like a weird like generational pivot. It's like not really like a millennial, but I'm not really a Gen Z, I'm kind of like in between. And people always say if you can remember certain things from like late 90s, early 2000s, probably more of a millennial, like Blockbuster or 9/11. I don't remember 9/11 at all, but I do remember Blockbuster, because my dad and I had this tradition. Every Friday, we'd get off work, we'd go pick out a bunch of movie snacks, and then we would hijack a plane and fly it into a Blockbuster. Anyone else do that with their dad? I've been told my whole life I have a hot mom, which is hard for a woman that only looks like her dad. It's true though, I have a hot mom. She's very beautiful. She has like dark hair, dark eyes, kind of an olive skin tone. And my dad's just Rick Moranis. That's kind of what I'm working with. He's always like, honey, I shrunk the kids, self-esteem. All right, guys, I'm Allison South. That's gonna do it for me. Coming to the stage. Local favorite, you're gonna love him, I love him. His name's Spencer DeMulkey, everybody.
Keep it going for Allison, everybody. Yeah, Allison actually runs a microgreens farm. And you know, I love microgreens because that's what I've always said about spinach is it's too big. That's my microgreens burn. Grow normal sized vegetable. No, all right, sorry. You guys might recognize me from being the door guy tonight at the comedy club. Remember me from before? All right, there we go. Only you guys all hate your seats except them. What the fuck, dude? I feel like I did a good job. Yeah, whatever. One time, when I was in college, I went to a party, took a girl home from a party. I didn't take her. She wanted to come. Wanted to come. That's gross. Sorry. You know, it was really gross how many times she came. All right, sorry. God, you guys laughed and then immediately stopped. Like, is this guy a pervert or not? I don't know. No, so I took this girl home and we were about to have sex. Sorry. And I reached for a condom and she went, oh no, don't worry, you don't need to wear a condom. I won't get pregnant. I ate an orange today. I guess somebody told her one time that if you have a diet high enough in vitamin C, you just can't have a baby. Obviously a horny guy that didn't want to wear a condom told her that, right? Like, what the fuck would that even be? Is it the acidity? You're not eating it with your pussy. Like, what the fuck? Is that why they're giving them to us at soccer games? Like, I've been eating oranges my whole life, but never got pregnant. Maybe it works. I don't know. Anyway, so I fucked her. No, sorry. Jesus. I'm being so gross. Oh, hey, man.
Hey!
God, you look like me if I stayed on the right career path. Anyway, that girl, her name was Tropicana. She had huge Florida naturals. Anyway. And
now we have a beautiful baby together. So how about that? You guys ever heard the phrase street urchin? Anybody ever called you that, or you ever called anyone that? You nodded, yeah? People call you it? No. All right, sorry. Street urchin is like, it's like older English. It's like a phrase that means like a kid who lives on the street. That's where the street part comes from. Like an adolescent kid on the street with like, doesn't follow the rules. He probably, has to steal food or whatever. It's a street urchin. The only other type of urchin I've ever heard of is a sea urchin, which is like a little ball with points that lives in the ocean. Sometimes French people eat them. So I was like, why do they use the same word for that? Why are they both called an urchin? They'll both stab you if you try to fuck them. Urchin means stab you if you try to fuck it. In French. You guys horny? Not right now. No, not right now. I just mean like in general. You guys horny people? Gross. I'm not horny. Not now. And not ever. I'll never be. I guess I was in that story I told before, but that was years ago. I'm not horny, but all my friends are. Like, all my friends are horny dudes. Like, all my boys are getting pegged. That's what, yeah. I don't know what happened to my boys, dude. They're all talking to me about it all the time. They just watch so much porn. They're like, I want to be the fucking girl this time, dude. Let me try that shit out. They always say the same thing when you ask them about it. Every guy has the same explanation. They're just like, well, the male G spot is in the asshole. It's like, first of all, don't say the asshole. This isn't the Discovery Channel. Say my asshole or something. You sound like a doctor. The male G spot is in the asshole. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Is life just about coming as hard as you possibly can? Pervert. I can't believe I bombed with the whole room for that. You guys are all sticking plastic in each other's asses? That's unbelievable. You guys were on board until I got incensed. Well, unfortunately, I just have to go back to work now, so that's the end of it. Thank you guys for coming out. Oh, thank you, brother. All right, you guys. A very funny comic coming up to the stage next. Everybody make some noise for Ram Barnacle!
Spencer, everybody! Spencer! Come on, Peaky Blinders, clap! Come on! Didn't clap once, might not be alive. Are you okay? All right, there he is.
It's not over yet.
Oh, you're wearing a Peaky Blinders hat too. You guys gonna fucking fight? Bad energy. Came up trying to have fun, bad energy. Judging by your hat, you sell pills. What do you, Oh, it's okay. We all gotta sell something. You sell subprime mortgages and he sells pills. It's okay. It's okay, we all have to have jobs. Landscaper, pills, never has smiled once. Good. Arms crossed. Comic book shop. Gave you one of those. What do you think, pill salesman? Do you think, what do you think if you had to guess, and yell it out in front of God and everybody, what is the wildest sexual position? Laughing like you have secrets. What do you think the wildest one is? The one where you're like, that's crazy for the first date. I would say my answer is a mid-afternoon sober 69. Pretty wild sexual position. Because when you 69, not the first night. I heard you say it under your breath, not the first night. What? In the shower, you 69? Are you trying to fucking drown, stupid? What are you, standing up like the fucking Undertaker? Pour a shot out of her asshole? What are you doing? 69 in the shower? You've never had sex, stupid. Never had sex. Watch out. This guy has probably committed a cum crime by the way he's reacting. You've been to jail for coming, I can tell. 69 in the shower? Explain yourself now.
What's the weirdest position ever? Like 69 in the shower. That would be the weirdest thing ever, right?
Fuck you, virgin. I said wildest. I said wildest. That's all right. We all fall short of the glory. Dude, it already? I got on Hinge. And I was like, who wants a 69 in the daytime? No, I got, that's great. When do you 69? When? Yeah, like when, not in the day, you fucking pervert, but you desperately want to be sexy. When, like in a relationship, when do you go for the 69? I say 18 months.
No, dude, one.
1 month?
1 month, bro. You gotta get it back in there.
I bet every woman you've had sex with is a pig. Like, yeah, you just pay them and then you eat their ass and you tell them to leave. Then you get in the shower alone. Alone! You get in alone. And you think about what you've done. I got on Hinge just to like see what all the shit was about, you know? And I put this, that you can check your age range. You can make your age range, whatever, 18 to whatever. And I put it all the way up, like as far as it goes. It goes up to 100. And I was like, there ain't gonna be nobody to fuck on here. And dude, the first thing that popped up was an 81-year-old woman. And a Mimo, she popped up. She was just like, last relationship I was in, 54 years, he died. And I was like, all right. And one of her things in her bio said, make me laugh. And I was like, bitch, I'm not a silent movie. How the fuck am I supposed to make you laugh? Plus, you can't call a Mimo your girlfriend. You bring an 81-year-old woman around the boys, you're like, look at this, boys. 69 in the day. You can't tell her, you can't ask her to do anything privately. She's old as fuck. You can't be like, you have to be like, do you want to go to a movie tonight? It's crazy. All right, that's enough out of me. Thank you, everybody. All right, give it up for your next comic. It's motherfucking Tim Fender, everybody!
My ex-wife is a bitch. I have no material to go with that. I just wanted you to know. I met the woman of my dreams. I opened my eyes and she said, I love watching you sleep. I said, I'm going to make you very happy. Turns out, she didn't like watching me sleep that much. As a matter of fact, after a while, it started to piss her off. Apparently, she wanted to go out and do things and make plans. I woke up one morning and she was gone. If you ever have the option to sleep through a breakup, do it. I woke up, we were broke up, I rolled over and took a nap. Best breakup ever. One of my friends kind of fancies herself as a matchmaker, and she said, Ted, there's a girl in my office that'd be perfect for you. I said, what's wrong with her? And she said, nothing really. I said, well, tell me the first thing when she pops into your mind. She says, well, she sits at her desk eating her snacks. When she gets down to the bottom of the bag of chips, she leans it back and shakes the chips in her mouth. And crumbs are on her shirt and her hair all day at the office. I said, stop, you said enough. Set us up. So she came over to my house to watch a movie. She brought a 12-pack of Natural Light, a big bag of cheese puffs that she must have gotten in Costco. I offered her a bowl of the cheese puffs, and she said, no thanks.
So we're sitting there watching the movie, and I look over a couple times, and about 8 beers in, she finished off the cheese puffs, and I look over and it happened. She'd taken out her dentures, and she was scraping the cheesy buildup. And she caught me staring, and I said, "What the hell?" And she says, "What?" I said, "You didn't tell me you have dentures." And she says, "Don't you get any ideas?" "Don't you get any ideas, big boy?" Well, I thought she was trying to seduce me. So I put my move on her. But she wasn't having it. She grabbed her flip-flops, 4 cans of beer, and stormed out the door, mumbling something that I couldn't understand, but I know she was pissed. Now, maybe you can tell I'm not very good at relationships. But they say that you'll find love when you're not looking for it. And for the past 6 years, I've been in the healthiest relationship of my life. There's no demands, no expectations. We both just want the same thing, to spend every minute we have together. And every day when I get home from work, we can't hide our feelings. I open the door, his tail starts to wag, and I drop down, give him a hug, and the rest of that day is the best of that day. Now, am I saying a dog is better than a wife? I'm not here to make controversial statements, but I will give you a few observations. I've had a wife, and I've had a dog, and the thought of having another dog makes me happy. My ex-wife is such a bitch that we measured time in dog years. The 10 years we were together felt like 70. And after 10 years of dealing with her crap, I'd had enough. Now, after 6 years of dealing with his crap, I can only hope for another 10. Now, if you own a dog, you have to pick up their poop. It's just part of the deal. Recently, someone told me about a product called a mutt mitt. Put it on your hand, you pick up the poop, you wrap it, and you throw it away. Game changer. Yeah. There's a few things you can say about a dog that you wouldn't say about your wife. I'm thinking about getting another dog. Oh, that's great. What kind? You know, I'm so happy for you. That's a great decision. I'm thinking about getting another wife. Are you sure? Remember how the last one went? That's a big responsibility. What kind are you thinking about? Well, I thought I'd get one maybe missing a leg or two so they can't run around on me. There's a few differences other than that. If you yell at your wife, that's called starting a fight. If you yell at your dog, they act like they did something wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your next comedian, Mr. Scott Mallory.
Not because of COVID. Because I know he pick up shit with his hand. You can't fool me. Nah. Like, I feel like open mics are kind of like running a train. Y'all seen the Tennessee Story. Choo-choo. Back to back to back to back. You don't think some of them comics eat chicken nuggets off their couch? I know. I ain't no fool. But my uncle always told me, you know, never go last on a train and always keep a tab. So that's my tab. I know y'all heard my name. Y'all looking at me like, oh. Yeah, y'all thought a white man was coming up here. My mom petty as fuck. My mom so petty she gave me a white man's first name and a white girl's last name. Scott Mallory. You know about 3 white Mallorys right now. But the thing about like, I don't know what the fuck my dad did, but she definitely took it out on me. And the petty single moms create petty single sons. I'm petty as fuck. I'm a football coach. I got this kid who called me a band in front of the students, teachers, and staff. Y'all know what a band is. A bitch ass nigga. I just felt like a minister of music. Bitch ass. Bitch. Come on, ass. Y'all gotta go to a black church one time. They be getting hell. But like after his mom paid that little tuition, you know, for being on my team, I kicked his ass off the team. I'm petty as fuck. Cause I watched this one white movie called Forrest Gump. Your mom sure do love you. But after I fucked his mom, I took his Apple Jacks off his refrigerator. And like when came back to the field the next day, everybody like, what are you doing on the team? But I had the Apple Jacks in my hand, and I just popped them in my mouth like, why coach so happy? Why is Damien back on the team? and that's why I said like bullying sometimes work. Because them kids did exactly what I needed them to do. They had a coach, they had a little speed bag. Coach had your mom like this. You know the little push-up thing in football? Coach had your mom like this. I like, yes, thank you. Because Damien got me 2,000 yards that year. He a straight A student. He did all that so I didn't come fuck his mom again. But now, guys, I've been in the gym a lot. I was 400 pounds away from. I was a Big Buford away from 400 pounds. If y'all know what 2 for 4 Big Buford look like, I was almost that. I've been working out a lot, and like when you start losing a lot of weight, cause I'm like 330 right now. Appreciate it, guy that sell pills. Talk to you later. But when you start losing all that weight, like females start treating you a little different. Like black women, they always make a name for anything. Like I got called Thick Slim. Thick Slim, I've never heard Thick Slim. Thick Slim is when your stomach is smaller than your chest. Right. Then she called me a plush firm. Bitch, you just called me a bed. But little did she know, they got this thing called a male waist trainer. Well, I'm out here catfishing bitches. I am finessing these hoes. I am a sexy babe. I slay these hoes. Oh man, that was fun. Y'all was amazing. I was great. And I'm gonna bring y'all next comment up because with my high school education, I'm gonna fuck his last name up. Come to the stage, Mr. Skylar Hillenbrand.
Go Bananas, how we doing today? I'm a pretty out of shape white dude, so I'm gonna be the first person to use the stool. But I'm no paid spokesperson by any means, but bananas is definitely my favorite fruit. For multiple reasons, you know, they're nutritious, high in fiber, and it's definitely the easiest fruit to sexually seduce your coworkers at work. You know, every day I start my morning out with a banana. They provide them at work for free. And I always peel one, I always make sure I peel one instead of the side for Harambe. R.I.P. But today's my first time ever being up here on any kind of stage, so thank you. Thank you, Ted and Andy, for inviting me. It's pretty neat. This is not on me. This is on you guys, how you perform, how many laughs I get here, if you guys want me back, so no pressure. But I'd like to start by telling you guys a little bit about myself. I've been with my wife for going on 12 years. Let's hear it up for that. Been with her for 12 years, only been married 2. You guys know how hard that is to stay with a woman for 9 years? You know, that's pretty damn hard. You know, we all know the expression, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free, right? It's a very insulting expression to an entire gender, but we all know what it means. Why would you marry a woman when you're already having sex with her? And I'll tell you why, because at least once a week, that cow's gonna be asking you when you're going to buy it. You know, you probably live in a very small apartment with said cow. But the worst thing is every time another cow gets sold, you have to go to that sale with your cow. Every time, you know, you look over and your cow's just pissed off, mooing the whole damn time, and asking you questions like, well, why is that farmer buying this cow? They didn't meet till 4 years after. You know, why buy the cow? Let's be honest, I'm lucky to have the cow I have. There may have been about 10 cows in this farmer's lifetime, all unmilked but one. But let's be honest, most people thought this farmer was more into bulls. But you know, my wife's in the audience right here, front row. Everybody get a clap for her. That poor thing, she's a all-boy mom. We have 3 boys at home, you know, and we have a male dog and a male cat. So, you know, we got a big sectional. She looks over and sees the dog licking himself. She looks over on the other cushion, the cat's licking himself. She looks to her left, I'm trying to lick myself. But you know, last weekend we went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Pretty neat, especially if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, because that's the only kind of history you guys have to see. I mean, the only thing you guys had in the last 20 years is Brown of the Yelp is back. All right. But you know, they have all these different kinds of cool exhibits, you know, and we're taking pictures of everything. And one of the neatest things is, you know, they have the tallest player in the NFL. He's like 7'2", and the shortest player's 5'1.5". That's crazy. I mean, I can only imagine he's greasing himself up, just going in between people's legs. And my wife's like, let's look around more. I know he has to be in another record book. Most balls to the face. But you know, and then last year we went to Washington, D.C., and you know, we're in our Uber driver, and he's like, where are you guys from? I said, Cincinnati, Ohio. He's like, oh, that's awesome, you know. Home of, you know, Skyline, Cincinnati Bengals, and the FBI shooter. That's what we're known for here. That's pretty damn sad. But you know, that's all the content I have today. I'm short like always, you know. But I want to introduce the next person, Alex, the Boy Wonder Shooper.
Hell yeah, dude. Give it up for Skylar, everyone. It's his first time. Hell yeah, dude. We love to have you here. That's from my phone. Nah. Actually, I don't want to show on the Browns. They scored 28 points on the Steelers in 1 quarter. They're a winner in my book. Fuck the Steelers. Haha. I just wanted to say that. Nah, I'm an awkward fella. I got the autism. Carter was talking about it earlier. It's not all bad, though. Like, we're pretty smart sometimes. Like, I actually found out recently about a program where you can use your Asperger's to get yourself a cash bonus. Yeah, it's called Winning Your Fantasy Football League. You guys gotta try it. It's fucking awesome, man. People are like, Asperger's, that's unfair. That's an unfair advantage. I'm like, it's not my fault you left Jamar Chase on waivers. Pick him up, man. The people are kind of condescending about it sometimes. I don't like, they're really condescending because they treat me like I'm more special than I actually am. Like sometimes people are like, you know what? It's okay. You can tell us about your failings anytime. I'm like, well, no, you can't. I can't do that anytime. Like there's sometimes, not every time. Like I can tell my friends that I'm sad. I can't tell my students that I'm hungover. I can't do that. It's not fun at all, man. And the kids are like, Mr. S. I sub-teach, I should have added that earlier. But like, Mr. S, what does hungover mean? It's like, well, sometimes the Bengals lose and your girlfriend breaks up with you in the same weekend. Then you drink White Claws for 3 hours straight until you end up calling a fire hydrant a bitch. Yeah, and then the next morning you have a Jamaican drum circle going on in your head and you want to throw up all the time. That's what that is, man. Next joke. Now, man, I realize the term Asperger's isn't technically in the medical journal anymore. I have no idea what that means. I barely read. But the few times I was reading about it, like I saw articles like what to call someone with Asperger's, or is Asperger's an outdated term? I saw one the other day, I swear to God, it said, what happened to Asperger's syndrome? Like it's a has-been actor from the 90s. It's like, what happened to Asperger's? Like TMZ is gonna show up and be like, listen, our detectives caught Asperger's trying to mine meth off of an undercover officer. Catch Asperger's next week on Celebrity Boxing. Nah, I was always an awkward guy. I messed up sexually too, like a lot of comics. Like I never got a good sex talk from my dad. I remember this because like me and my dad, we sat down one night, we played Scooby-Doo Monopoly, as you do. We sat down, and I don't remember my dad giving me the birds and the bees talk. The only thing I remember my dad telling me about was the clit. That's all I remember. Not the birds and the bees, just the clit. That's like describing a video game to someone and going, screw the basic controls. Here's how you beat the final boss. But he described it in like a really weird way. He goes, so women have a little penis. And I heard that, I was like, oh my God, me too, no way. It's fucking rules. We have so much in common, I can't wait to go to school on Monday. I should have waited. That was a really rough Monday, actually, and a rough rest of the year. The rumors spread, apparently. No, my brain, I'll leave on this. Like, my brain processes things a lot differently than a lot of normal brains. It's really weird. Like someone can interpret something mean something one way, and I'll interpret it like however I choose to interpret it. Like, I was on Facebook recently, and an old buddy of mine from high school, he had a tribute post to his girlfriend. And in the post, he called her the Bonnie to my Clyde. And it seemed like I was the only person in the world that had a problem with that. Everyone's like, oh, the Bonnie to my Clyde, that's so sweet. I'm like, you know they were murderers, right? They weren't just lovers on the prowl. So if we're cool with him calling her the Bonnie to my Clyde, then someday I'm gonna call my girlfriend the Ghislaine Maxwell to my Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, it appears I've made my point. This next part could go either way. So, no, like, I hate the way people romanticize Bonnie and Clyde. I hate that. Like, there's a Bonnie and Clyde musical. There's a Bonnie and Clyde musical. There will never be a Jeffrey Epstein the musical. There will never be like some musical number like Epstein was on an island vacation with those kids doing group masturbation. Like, there will never be an Epstein musical. I'll leave it on that. I'm Alex. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are fucking awesome. You guys keep it going for your next comic. I think I got this right. Andy Quartz.
Yeah, there are the bright lights I remember. God damn. So, last time I came up here and compared my first time to when I first lost my virginity, just to give you guys a little background. Okay, So I compared my first time up here to my first time losing my virginity because all my friends were here and it was really awkward and it wasn't going well. And it took me a couple days, and then I got this like itching and burning sensation to do it again. So, okay, so somebody over here has an STD. That's funny, that's funny. If medication don't heal it, smash it between two bricks. Okay. So, anywho. Oh, jeez. So, I unfortunately work with this guy that has 69 in the shower. As of today, he was one of my employees. Tomorrow, probably not. HR would understand. But anywho, it's funny, Cole, because my wife doesn't enjoy 69. She likes 77, 69 but being 8 more. Yeah. Yeah. It's more of a 68 where she owes me one. Yeah. Numbers are fun. Yep. My father-in-law's here. Cool. Right back there. I think he's laughing. Or plotting. So that's what gets me in trouble a lot is word vomit. I brought it up last time, kind of weird things that I say just out of the blue. Gets me in a lot of trouble. We were looking for a house, my wife and I. Oh God, and she said, we were laying in bed one night, and she says, Andy, what do you think about an open concept? And I was like, brilliant. What about your girlfriend from work? Apparently, it's not the same open concept. Is what I was thinking. Close, but swing and a miss. We no longer hang out with that couple. Yeah. But yeah, she. Oh man. Well, anywho, yeah. So it's kind of everybody was talking about going back to the '90s and whatnot, and I remember growing up in a very religious home. Both of my parents were psychos. She's not here, so my mom and dad won't watch this anyways. But anywho, I was going to a church camp one year at Woodland Mound. I don't know if you guys know where that is. Doesn't matter, regardless. But went to Woodland Mound, and it was weird because they took all the kids' cell phones and all the watches, so you didn't know what time it was. So the only time you knew when bedtime was when the big hand touched the little hand. It's a pedophile joke, I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, it'll age out eventually and then you go for younger. Yeah, if they're under 18, you just do them in your head. So yeah, my buddy Paul, who's also a coworker, who's here tonight, he got in a little bit of trouble because he was caught sniffing his best friend's sister's underwear. Okay? Now hear me out. I don't know if it was because she still had them on, but either way, it made the rest of the funeral really awkward. Okay? Yeah, really, really bad. Yeah, sorry, Paul. I won't point you out. Right there. So, last time with it being my first time, I was really surprised I'd last 4.5 minutes because sexually I didn't. I forgot father-in-law's still here. So I get up with my wife all the time. Weird transition. Sorry. We'll call that a Caitlyn Jenner. Weird transition. But I get on my wife all the time about stuff because she doesn't know how to speak well. She knows talk good. And I have dandruff, mostly because of genetics. But I have dandruff, and she texted her mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, one day and said, Mom, how did Dad get rid of his dandruff? And she sent back, well, I gave him Head and Shoulders. And she's like, that's disgusting. How would you even give shoulders? So I still have dandruff. And I don't get shoulders or head. I really wanted to get out here earlier, but I had a sinus thing where I couldn't hear so I felt like a deaf gynecologist because I was reading lips. Yeah, I guess that's my time. Please keep it going for your next comedian, the very funny Phil.
Y'all keep it going for Andy. Let him hear it. All right. Everybody been having a good time so far? Wonderful, wonderful. Let's see if we can keep that up. I'll tell you about me. I'm married, and I've been married for 5 years, and I am married to a white woman. I am. So, of course, she has me into true crime. Well, don't y'all act funny out here. I'm sure all of y'all know a basic white chick that'll take a sip of her White Claw and tell you exactly why she would fuck the Menendez brothers. Some of y'all quiet because y'all was looking at y'all phone earlier talking about, Eric and Lyle can get it. Oh my God. You motherfuckers better loosen the fuck up. Because I'm going to tell you right now, y'all ain't had but 2 black folks on this show, and I'm finna talk some shit. So y'all might as well get comfortable. Blake tried to loosen y'all up earlier. Y'all motherfuckers didn't take it. He was getting y'all ready for me. Do y'all want to hear the rest of that bit, or y'all want me to move on to something else? I'm going to leave it up to y'all. What y'all want? Okay. Okay, fine. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. People talk shit about my dad's shoes. Fuck them. They're comfortable. I turn 50 years old next month. I don't give a fuck what anybody say about my damn shoes. Thank you. So like I was saying, I'm into true crime, I really am. But I'm into that true crime that has like the weird twist at the end, you know? Like at the beginning of the podcast, the guy goes, and by the end of this podcast, you'll never guess who the murderer was. And then at the end of the podcast, I'm like, whoa, let me understand this. So the man loved his children dearly, but his teenage daughter decided to stab him to death, tried to cut his body up. When that didn't work, she tried to set it on fire, all so she could stay with her teenage boyfriend? Yo, I didn't know teenage dick could be that good. Look, I'm just saying, when I was a teenager, I couldn't get a woman to touch mine. He got a girl committing patricide. Like, what the fuck? So I'm into this weird, twisted type of true crime, but I also have an overactive imagination, so it kind of fucks with my experiences in life, you know? Like, for instance, I was recently in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I was there for comedy, so all my shows are at night, so during the day I can do whatever I want. So I decided to go to the Civil Rights Museum there, which is the place where they had the first sit-in to integrate lunch counters. But it's the middle of the day, so nobody else is in this dark-ass museum. So while I'm walking around and I should be absorbing the history and the culture of this place, the entire time my brain is just going, yo, I'm gonna be the first victim of the museum killer. Fuck! Like I imagine a podcaster now talking about, and what he chose to do to kill time ended up killing him. I thought I was okay for a moment, because a couple of little old ladies walked in and I felt better. I was like, there's safety in numbers, I'm good. But then all of a sudden my twisted brain went, nope, because that's gonna be the twist of my goddamn podcast. It's gonna be 2 women that started their murder career in '85 who'd have put knives on their walkers and shit. Just the last sound I'm gonna hear is, get him, Ethel. While I was there, I picked up a cool souvenir. I really did, something that I thought would be useful to me. I picked up a t-shirt, and all it says on the front is February 1st, 1960, sit-in movement. And I saw this shirt and I was like, yo, I'm never gonna have to wait in line in a restaurant for the rest of my life. I'm sorry, sir, it's gonna be a 2-hour wait. Oh, you mean there's no place for black people to sit in this motherfucker? I consider myself to be a nice person, I'm a good person. I like to do things for my wife to make her happy and all of that. Which is one of the reasons why I hate this fucking cold ass weather we got. This snow, because it makes it hard for me to be that good person, you know? Like if my wife pulls up to the house one day, she's got a bunch of stuff in the car, and she like calls me up, babe, can you come out and help me get the stuff out of the car? I'm running out there whether I put shoes on or not. But when it gets like this outside, and she called me, babe, could you come out to the car to help me? I want a divorce. You want me to take my ass out in this weather? You can fuck right off. It's not just my wife that it affects either. It makes me a really bad person to everybody. Because a couple years ago, when we had that -20 outside, my mama called me to go out to the store for her. And don't get me wrong, I went out to the store, but the whole time I'm driving around, all I kept thinking was, you know what? The breast milk wasn't even all that impressive. Not to have me out in this shit. If she wanted me to come out in this shit, she could have took a couple of shots of vodka for some White Russians or something. Hey, I wasn't proud of it. I'm just saying that's what the fuck that weather does to me. So, my mom and dad got divorced when I was very young. So, for a brief period of time, I had to live with my grandmother because my mom worked 2 jobs. And that was kind of a traumatic experience for me because I grew up back when child abuse was still legal. And my grandmother would say wild shit to keep me in line. She would. Like her favorite one to use was always, boy, if you keep acting up, I'm gonna beat you with whatever's closest to me. Which was wild because she was only saying that when she was ironing. And seeing this how my mom worked for Children's Services, who the fuck was I gonna call? I actually got an ass whooping from my father one time that was a life-changing experience. It was actually a religious experience is what it was. It was. Because here's the thing, I was in my preteens, and so I decided to get bold one day. I was feeling myself, so I'm talking back to my mama. My mom calls my dad to come take care of me, like he's some sort of pediatric hitman or something. So my dad comes and picks me up, and I'm sitting in the car looking at this man who's 6 foot something, 300 and something pounds solid, did 2 tours in Vietnam, and all I kept thinking at that moment was, maybe I should have kept that last fuck you mama to myself. It might have been that last one that's got me in this. So we get to my dad's house, and I go to my room and his house. And my room has a window that looks out in the front yard where he has this big, beautiful tree. It's in full bloom and green and everything. So my dad comes in, he takes off his belt and gets to work just whack, 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 whack. And after a moment, I decide, you know what? I've had enough of this shit, and I grab the belt. You hear that sound, y'all? Those of y'all didn't say nothing. You hear that sound? Uh-huh. Because I'm going to tell you what. My father, without missing a stroke, let go of the belt, reached out the window to that big, beautiful tree, snatched a switch off that tree, completely skinned and went back. You ever fuck up so bad God gets directly involved in your punishment? Like God was like, oh, no, I heard what he said to his mama. We gonna get this stripped and ready for you, bro. I say it was a religious experience because over my life, I grew up and I had a really conservative Christian background, but I started growing up and having doubts about that background. So I made it all the way to being agnostic, but I could never make it to atheist because somebody stripped that goddamn branch and it wasn't my daddy. I'm Phil Pointer, I love y'all, bye. We ready for our last comic of the evening? We can do better than that. Are we ready for our last comic of the evening, ladies and gentlemen? All right, big round of applause for an extremely funny friend of mine, Mr. Carl Spaeth.
Keep it going for Phil. He has a comedy special coming out tomorrow on YouTube. You should look it up, Phil Pointer. And that is my duty as a friend. I never have to do another nice thing for him ever again. I feel pretty good about that. Feel pretty good. Good to be here. I didn't have a job for like 3 months. I had one interview in that 3 months, and I ran into the lady that interviewed me at a bar. She came up to me and she's like, hey, I know you. And I was like, hey, I know you too. Did I get that job? And she was like, no, but do you want to get dinner sometime? And I was like, sure, can you pay? I just found out that I don't have a job. I don't like job interviews. Every job interview, they ask you questions like, what's one word you would use to describe yourself in the workplace? Like, I don't know, tired? Is hungover, what are 2 words? Like, what's gonna get me? Would you hire me? You look like a guy that hires people. You're like, no, you're 39 and dressed like a skateboarder. Why would I hire you?
You're key for marketing, though.
What?
You are like legit the best for marketing.
That's true. People want to know. They want to do the same things that alcoholics do, right? And they're like, they look at me and they're like, this guy has a problem. I want to be exactly like him and also drink whatever brand of kombucha he thinks is keeping him alive. Now, I do have a job now, which is good. It's good to have money. I was broke for a long time. I'm still kind of broke, honestly. My identity got stolen. The guy got $250, and that ruined my life. Most people find out their identity gets stolen, their bank calls them, they're like, hey, we think somebody tried to steal your identity. I had to go to my bank and be like, hey, I think somebody tried to steal my identity. And they're like, yeah, we know. We just thought you'd be better off starting over. I spent $100 on groceries and immediately got a fraud alert text from my bank. It's like they saw my bank statement was a bunch of bars. They're like, there's no way this guy cooks for himself. We better send him another text. Looks like some thief might get this last $20. My girlfriend and I have been talking about the future lately. I think that we're gonna have like sentient AI and violence-inducing water crisis, and she thinks we should get married and have a baby. It's really cute. I'm fine with marriage, not so cool with having a baby. I think at this point, the only way I'll end up with a baby is the same way I end up with new cars. It'll be after an accident. I'll probably hit her from behind. And I just need to be more careful when I pull out, you know what I mean? That's the right reaction. It's like I just scored a touchdown. Hooday, all right. You know, in grammar they say that 2 negatives make a positive, and I don't think that life works that way. Life works more like math, where if you add a negative to a negative, you get a bigger negative, right? Like say I'm irritable and I have irritable bowel syndrome, and there is nothing positive about a grumpy little bitch that's about to shit his pants. I live down in over the Rhine.
Who would have guessed?
That is fair. That is fair. I've been down there for 12 years, and then people like you came in and ruined my rent. Yeah, thank you for throwing up on my sidewalks and making it harder to walk my dog. I used to pay $400 for a 2-story apartment. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. No, I was walking my dog one night, and I was a little drunk, you know, and I was walking my dog, and I came across this car on the street, and the guy inside the car was getting a blowjob from his girlfriend. And me and the guy, we locked eyes, and then he went, and the girl popped up real quick with this look on her face. It was this look that I can only really describe as somebody who just got caught with a dick in their mouth. Can you picture this? And then my dog did her business, and I was coming back, and I realized this car was parked in a tow zone. So I like tapped on their window, they rolled it down. I was like, hey, you're parked in a tow zone. And they're like, okay. And I was like, no, you're parked in a tow zone. I don't want you to get a ticket. And the girl was like, yeah, we're just waiting for somebody to come. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. I want you to dig it in the blow zone, not get a ticket in the tow zone, you know? I'm just trying to be helpful. It's a true story. All these are true stories, including this one. This is wild. This one you guys aren't gonna like this. You might, if you're monsters. On New Year's Eve, I had to put a dog down. I had to put the family dog down. Have you ever had to do that? Yes. Sucks, doesn't it? You know what sucks worse? When it's not your own family's dog. I had to put another family's dog down on New Year's Eve. And like, I was just dog sitting, and I agreed to take care of the dog, but I never agreed to take care of the dog. You know, it wasn't like a hitman, like, pay me half up front, the other half when the job's finished. The dog was sick, I didn't know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have agreed to watch it. It was like, I didn't agree to run a hospice or a hospice. Is it cuter if I say hospice? Is it less sad? But here's like the most fucked up thing. So they're putting the dog down, and the entire time my girlfriend's with me, and we're like upset because I've been watching this dog for a long time, like 3 years. I like would watch this dog for these people, and this lady in the lobby just starts squawking like, and you're just like, who the fuck is this cunt squawking like this? And then the dog, passes, and we leave. And we get out to the lobby, and there's this parrot in a cage in the lobby. And my girlfriend turns to me, she's like, oh, the bird's the cunt. So anyway, now that I'm used to it and feel like God every time I do it, if you need a pet put down, just let me know. Ran, I said I shouldn't do it, and I did it, and it's okay. It's okay, it's gonna be okay, the dog's gonna be fine. My dog's still alive, that's nice. I have a rescue dog. My dog's really sweet. She's only 5, so she's gonna live forever. She's sweet, and when I tell people I have a rescue dog, they go like, well, who really rescued who here? Like, I rescued her, I didn't rescue Lassie. Like, she's a shitty little pit bull mutt. If I fell down the steps, she wouldn't bark until help came. She would just eat as much cat shit as she could until my girlfriend got home. And trust me, she's always eating things she shouldn't eat. My dog's eaten so many of my girlfriend's tampons, I'm surprised she hasn't died of toxic shock syndrome. She loves the taste of my girlfriend's period blood. Guess dogs really are like their owners, huh, yeah? Yep. Which one's the more fucked up dog joke now? Which one's worse? I honestly can't tell. In both jokes, blood ends up on my hands. That got me. Man, you know what my favorite time in my entire life was lockdown. Because I'm a hypochondriac, and then finally everybody else was. I mean, I'm a bad hypochondriac. I never thought I was one until my dad told me he was, and I was like, oh no, I got that too. Come on. You guys will get it. It gets bad. Like, I thought I had stomach cancer because I was pooping all weird. Turns out I had to get my gallbladder removed, and I had to meet with the surgeon before the surgery, and he was like, do you have any questions? And I was like, yeah, how soon after this surgery can I start drinking? And he was like, nobody has ever asked me that before. And I was like, well, it sounds like somebody's been doing surgery on a bunch of nerds. The first thing I said when I woke up from that surgery is, where can I get some cocaine? And the nurse was like, do you do cocaine? And I was like, nah, I'm just goofy. And then I laughed for 15 straight minutes. I don't do cocaine, believe it or not. I'm not a drug guy at all. I do have a Xanax prescription. And when I went to get my Xanax prescription, I had to take a depression test. One of the questions on a depression test is, how often do you think about suicide? Always, sometimes, or never. And I feel like that's a little vague. Like, I would never kill myself. The other day I spilled some soup, and I was like, well, if I kill myself, I probably don't have to clean this up, so. I think a better question is, would you rather be dead than mildly inconvenienced? Like, oh yeah, sign me up for the forever nap. My first surgery was when I was 13 years old. I had testicular torsion. If you don't know what that is, it's what happens when you're 13 years old, you jack off 9 times in a row the day before Thanksgiving, and then your body's like, if you don't stop this, I'm gonna strangle your balls to death. So I had to go to the hospital, and the nurse was rolling me into the operating room, right? She was like, and I was obviously nervous because my little tiny pubescent ball sack was gonna get sliced open with a knife. Understandably a little, on edge. She was trying to calm me down, make small talk, and she's like, so do you have a girlfriend? And I was like, no. And she's like, just not into that kind of thing. I was like, no, you fucking bitch. I just jacked my way into the ER. Does it sound like I have a girlfriend? Plus, I'm 13 years old. Have you ever gotten a hand job from a 13-year-old? If that were the case, I'd be in here for the penis replacement surgery. Okay. My mom loves America, and she doesn't understand how the internet works. She thinks MILF stands for Mothers into Liberty and Freedom. I'm like, Mom, like she always says to me, she's like, well, these days it's just hard to tell what's true and what's a lie on the internet. I'm like, Mom, it's really easy. If you believe it, it's a fucking lie. I know everything's a lie on the internet because I got it in 1996, AOL, and the first thing I did was get into a chat room and lie. I pretended to be a 14-year-old girl. And that's what the internet was in 1996. It was 12-year-old boys pretending to be 14-year-old girls talking to 40-year-old perverts, and it was magical. Do you know how many grown men I probably made come? I probably saved a Girl Scout's life. I'm a hero. And I didn't even know how sex worked. I was just like, oh yeah, stick your soft little ding-dong in my belly button. I'm 12. I'm 12 and I just got the internet. All right, that's gonna do it for me, everybody. Give it up for all the comics you've seen tonight, and your wait staff, Carter and Morgan. And after the show, head over to Bell and the Bear. A bunch of the comics will be hanging out and get some more drinks, get drunk, drive home. Have a good night, everybody.